I got my rant. It's about depression and mental health. And you're not expecting this one. First of all, I'm going to talk about it in a manner that will make you more comfortable. Mental health is incredibly important. Being depressed is a mental health issue. Being depressed can be a health issue the way having a cold is a health issue. Something that you treat with certain remedies that you have devised that work for you. Not everybody pops cold pills, is what I mean to say. And not everybody pops mind pills. And cold pills don't work for everybody. They don't make me feel better. They make me feel drugged. They may allow me to sleep. Decongestants can be useful, but I wouldn't say that I prefer cold pills over chicken soup. Here's the rant. Let me start it like this. My life sucks. I shouldn't have to give you a laundry list of reasons for you to judge, for you to accept from me as an adult, a sane, rational human being, that my life has some major challenges that would upset most people. I tell you that I have problems above and beyond the norm. I'm not talking about whether I have worse problems than someone else. I know plenty of people worse off. But it doesn't change the fact that the problems I do have continue to stress me on a daily basis, without having to delineate what they are. My life sucks. I can't do the things that I need to do to fix it. I actually know what it takes, I actually have. I shouldn't say I know what it takes to fix it. I should say I actually have at least a half a dozen contingency plans that would fix it, all of which require resources I don't have. Financial or community, either. I cannot bring into play the things that I need to stop the suckage of my life by myself, and I have nobody else to pick up slack or to help me out, which in fact is probably the number one cause of depression for me. The lack of community support in a real physical sense. I'm not talking about all those nice flippin' words you all say to each other. I say nice things to people, okay? Great. We all say nice things back and forth. But when are we going to start putting our money where our mouth is and actually show up at the hospital when your friend is sick? Actually go shovel that old woman's yard, like snow. When are we going to actually get out of our flippin' desk chairs and go do? My mental health, my depression is not a mental illness. It is not caused by one at any rate. It is that my depression, my anger, my passion, my emotional expressiveness are not caused by mental illness. When you say that to me, however kindly you say it, and believe me, the pharmaceutical companies don't mean it as kindly as they sound, that is a way of dismissing my problems, my very real life problems, whether I am Mr. Homeless Guy on the street, Mr. Drug Addict that can't get a meal together, or the lady whose husband cuts her down every night while he's putting her diamond jewelry on her. Every last one of us. You gotta find out, why are we depressed? Maybe it's legitimate. Maybe we need to start fixing problems instead of saying, oh, you'll fix it all by yourself as soon as you get over being depressed. Since you can't do it all by yourself, you poor thing, you must be chemically deficient. Here, we got all this stuff that will drug you so insensible you'll shut up and quit complaining. But it doesn't fix your life. I was 11 years old. Not even 11. I think it was grade 6. I was so severely depressed as a little girl that I just wanted to die. I was depressed for reasons. I was depressed for reasons of autism, I was depressed for reasons of transgenderism. I was depressed for reasons of no community or family support. I didn't have anywhere to turn to for real love. I was begrudged the very food that was fed at our very healthy meals. We were fed well, and we were fed well up here as well, on the value, the expensiveness, and how little we were worth every single time we took a mouthful. Let me tell you, the ranting went on. I didn't come by this ranting naturally, you know. I'm just carrying on a family tradition. I'm the first one to do it in front of strangers. That's all. But YouTube loves a good rant, huh? Depression is a mental illness, but it's probably not caused by an underlying mental illness. It is the mental illness. And like an addiction, and like a bad habit, it has a way of promoting itself. This is why some people simply got to break the chain with drugs. Whatever kind of drugs they're using, whether that's the doctor's suggestion or the dealers. They're trying to break the chain just so they can just scramble out of the hole long enough to remember what fresh air smells like. And then they feel like they'll have the strength to do what they got to do. And when they get out of the hole, what do they do if it's a wasteland? What do you do if you get out of that hole and you look around and the sunshine and the fresh air is the only thing there is? Nothing but grasslands, empty and devoid of life. What do? Some folks find the strength to run across the plains until they find life. But, you know, some of us are disabled. Some of us start out right at the very beginning with a challenge that's stops us from performing as demanded by our society. And no accommodation is made. Yeah. And there was a time when we didn't accommodate even those who were visibly disabled, obviously disabled. Folks that everybody in our society all is happy to agree together deserves a handicap parking spot. Those folks, or, you know, extra considerations. There's been a time in our society when those folks didn't get those considerations either. Blind beggars, you know? Think back to your Charles Dickens stories. That really happened. Those people on the street with their peg legs and their hands out. That really happened. And, oh, it's still happening. You know, there's only a certain level of disability, and actually I'm not so sure that it's the disability that gets those people the support. I think it's because it inspires someone in their world to put their own self aside and dive into helping this one person. And through the advocacy of the able-bodied person, that disabled person gets the services they need. So, you know, invisible disabilities rarely inspire that, rarely have a support person. I know I've never had anyone advocating for me and to accommodate my needs. And I remember watching a young woman enter university, and one of the things she could do for herself was to advocate for her needs. And I was so bitterly jealous of the accommodations she got to go through school. And I thought, I could have achieved my dream grade instead of merely finishing with a diploma. I could have actually continued to pursue my dream career if I'd had some accommodation. But I didn't even know at the time that I didn't even know it was autism. I knew I was at odds with the world, but I didn't know anything else, really. I knew I was transgender, but, you know, that was irrelevant back then. That was just another way to label you crazy, so you didn't really talk about that. Seriously, honestly, folks, depression's a mental illness, but it's not caused by it. And sooner or later, a person's still going to need some help to fix their life. They didn't get here as a person fully capable of making it work for themselves, did they? And it's probably that lack of support to fix those things that threw them where they are.